Good morning, guys. Having coffee with Moxie again this morning. How was everybody's yesterday? That's my first question. So yesterday, we talked a little bit about some weird energy going on, and I wanted to talk to you guys about that this morning before we got started on what's going on today. God, yesterday was so weird for me. We talked yesterday a little bit about those opposing energies, or like this weird energy that was going to be entering, which happens right at when the moon changes signs. So yesterday we did have the moon entering into Pisces. It had been in Aquarius and it entered into Pisces, and it made us like feel insecure and a little judgmental. That's the truth, guys. It makes us a little judgmental, and I ran into that all morning yesterday. So you should tell me your stories. I'd love to hear your stories. What happened yesterday? Tell me about how yesterday went for you, because I kept running into these people, and let me tell you, I'm going to tell you a story. We'll have a little life coaching communication moment here. So yesterday, someone made this dumb comment to me. I had made a sound effect, right? It's dumb. Where I had closed out a thing I was working on the computer when I went to reach for the phone, and I had hit escape on my computer, and this very complex work order or whatever had closed. And someone in my work environment said, you know, when you make that noise, it makes everyone else feel like you're frustrated with them. And I sat there for a moment and I realized, like, I can't make you feel anything. I can't make you feel anything. And so I thought about this yesterday, and I mean, I responded appropriately, and I just said, hey, that's your perception. I was frustrated with something that I was doing, and my sound effect has nothing to do with you at all. And that's the truth. Like, I didn't, what insecurities was this person feeling that they felt like every time I make a sound effect, it has something to do with them, that I was frustrated with them. And I was telling my husband about this, and you guys, I can't wait for you to meet my husband. You're going to meet my husband. He's amazing. I was telling him about this interaction, and I was like, you know, for me, this is like walking down the street and someone yells, hey, asshole, whatever. I didn't do that very fluidly, did I? Hey, asshole. And you turn around and go, yeah? Well, if you do that, that's on you, right? If somebody yells out, look at the zebra, I'm not turning around. I mean, I'm not going to think that they're talking about me. I'm not a zebra. I know I'm not a zebra. And that's the weird thing for me, is that if I make a sound effect and you feel upset about it, like if I make a sound of frustration and you weren't doing anything, that's the little caveat in this story is that they weren't doing anything that I could be frustrated at, literally sitting in their chair doing nothing. And I think that that's that insecurities that we were told we were going to be feeling. And I noticed it in everyone around me yesterday. I had no less than 5 or 6 of those interactions yesterday, guys. When the moon transitions and changes, this kind of stuff pops up. And I literally texted my husband and said, oh, I love it when my morning aspects give me the armor that I need for the day, because I knew this was coming yesterday. I told you guys it was coming yesterday. I hope that you guys were all aware of it. It was, and I did, like, so I took some real Pisces moments yesterday, and I was like very aware of what everyone else was doing, and just tried to stay inside all day. And I was texting Karma on deck yesterday. I was like, breathe in and center. That's my mantra today. That's what we're gonna do. Breathe and center, and let this phase pass. That's all I can do. So it was kind of a crazy day. I don't know if you guys had it, but I sure did. We also had like the sun was in conjunction with our north node, so, or our south node. So if any of that popped up for you, tell me about it. That was that, you know, where you come from. A lot of living in our past and feeling like that stuff's popping up. But today is the 31st, guys. Breathe and center, because it's the last day of 2019. Crazy, what a year. Ton of stuff that happened for me, and I'm so excited about 2020. I keep saying that, but I am so excited about 2020. There is so much coming up. Pardon me. And it's gonna be epic. We talk about childhood stuff coming up. Let's talk about that for a second. Yesterday, I even looked at my friend and I said, I think I need to let go a little bit. I think that needs to be my focus of 2020. So you guys keep an eye out. She may or may not have gotten a video of me jamming out to some Beastie Boys. I know, I'm so old. And I was just cutting up in the bathroom. And I told her, I'm like, I think I need to post that. I need to post that and let people see me not be so pulled together and wound up all the time. So that's what 2020 is going to be for me, and I hope you guys are using the waxing crescent moon that we are in right now to set intentions. What is your intention for 2020? Now is the time to do it. Get those intentions set. We will be popping into a waxing gibbous moon here in a minute. Just a couple of days, guys. So that's what we're at. The moon is still in Pisces, so fight that insecurity and focus. One of the big things that's happening today is that, well, it's not even happening today, but I wanted to mention it today, guys, is that Mars is trine with Chiron. And this started on December 24th, and it's going to go all the way till January 19th. Mars started in 23 degrees of Scorpio. So that's all about willpower. Scorpio is all about our sense of will and our inner willpower. But it can be vengeful and a little bit cruel. And you can find yourself feeling like I'm just cutting things off and doing, you know, it doesn't have to be cruel is what I'm trying to say, is that, but it's time to like be certain and be concise and start cutting out those things that don't serve you. You just really be careful about spitefulness, I guess is the word I'm going to use, for the next few weeks, because that can get in there. The sense of righteousness that comes in with Scorpio is huge. Scorpio has that sense of righteousness and a very long memory. So what I find when I'm talking to people is that they have this sense of where they start to feel indignant or righteous about things that happened a long time ago. That's that intense memory of Scorpio. Chiron on December 24th was in 1 degree of Aries, and so it's moving through too, right? But that one is all about confrontation. Aries is confrontation and the fight. So, but not necessarily just a fight to fight, but a fight for progress, a fight for moving forward. And that is what our theme of 2020 is going to be, is moving forward, healing, all of those things. We talked about our childhood wounds and clearing those out and starting to make room for new things. Sometimes healing and learning, I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that the wound vanishes, but that we learn to live with it. And so that is its own form of healing, where we can just say, hey, this happened, or this is where I came from, and I can live with that. And so let's focus there. We have that until January 19th. And so it's a really good time to do that. And you've got that willpower of Scorpio to help get you through, to work on those things. The work is the work is the work, guys. That's what it is. It's all about doing that and having the time to do the work. it's time to get it done. Time to get it done, guys. The other thing that we have going on is we got Mercury trine Uranus today. You guys know this, right? Uranus is all about, like we talked yesterday, is all about the quirky cousin who is such an individual and is always talking about how they express themselves in their own way. And that is a good thing, because that person or those people, those energies really instill radical change in the world around us, because as that becomes something that we're a little more desensitized to, the masses begin to follow. And so when we have a Uranus energy, we're going to see a lot of that, a lot of individuality, a lot of standing up for letting me be me, or in the people around us and in the energy around us in general. And I was saying that yesterday when I said, you know, maybe I need to post these videos and let people see me unleashed a little. It's to let people see that I'm an individual and I have like these quirky behaviors and I have things that are weird that I'm really not worried about anymore. I just let the world see me and all of my weirdness, and I'm fine with it. Let's do that. But Uranus is trying with Mercury too, and Mercury is our communication and how we learn, how we teach, how we communicate, transportation. But here's the thing, again, we talked about this yesterday a little bit, when you take your lower mind, which is Mercury. Mercury is considered our lower mind and Uranus is considered our higher mind. And when you put those together, right, that's that thing that we were talking about yesterday. And I just wanted to briefly touch on it, that we're still there, right? And it is time to be individual, talk about your ideas, your things, your hopes, your dreams, your ideas for change. And it isn't a time to regurgitate someone else's idea. It's not time to just follow the path, step in someone else's footsteps. We're talking reinventing the wheel at this point right now, right? This is your time to say, I have a better idea for a wheel, let's do it. So I want to see that come out. I also want to see you guys tell me, what are your ideas? Throw them in here. Let's see how many people can see it. The other trine that we have going on today is Jupiter is trining Uranus as well. So here we got Uranus again, right? That's our quirky cousin who's all about individuality. And Jupiter expands what it touches, so there's going to be this explosion of it. That's the way I feel about it anyway, is that Jupiter expands everything it touches. And so the sense of individuality and the sense of change is going to be just fantastic and huge. And you're going to see a little more of that exploding around you, and embrace it. You may feel that urge to stand out in a crowd and not just kind of like fade into the shadows. This is such a beautiful time. What a way to start off 2020 is with everybody just so certain in themselves and feeling like there's a strong desire to stand out. Also, when Jupiter's trine Uranus, you're going to be thinking long-term, future-oriented thoughts. And then it's also a beautiful time to learn. Like, the ability to learn when Jupiter is trining Uranus is so big. Like, you're going to absorb information like crazy. And it's going to be easy, like effortless. This isn't the cram study session. But we need to do that. There's stuff you need to learn, right? When we meditate and we listen, like that's the thing, the source or higher self tells us what it is that we need to learn. And that's what we should be listening to right now. Your perception is going to be so heightened. Listen to the quiet voice. That's all I can say, guys. if you focus on Jupiter and Uranus right now in their little thing, especially today, spend a little time the last day of the year meditating and listening. Your perception of that higher self is going to be super keen, and you're going to hear things, I promise, that you haven't heard before. You're going to see things that you haven't seen before. So all in all, it's kind of a busy day. A lot of up and down. The moon's settling into Pisces. So I'm hoping for you guys that it's not another day of weird energy. I know that I'm hoping for me it's another day of not another day of weird energy. So there's going to be a little bit, but I'm going to be the master of my day today. I don't know about you guys, but I am. Again, I'm going to tell you guys, like I do, that all of these transits affect you just a tiny bit different, or hugely different depending on what your natal chart is. If you want to get your natal chart done, I can do that for you. You can reach me. I am some form of magic and moxie across social media. You can find me on Instagram, Tumblr, or Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and YouTube, all under some form of magic and moxie. My email is magicnmoxie, magicandmoxie@gmail.com. And you can reach out to me there. You can reach out to me by DMing me here on Facebook or Instagram, and we can get your natal chart done, and you can find out exactly, and doing your natal chart at the beginning of the year, right? Let's plan out your year. Let's see what you have coming up. I can do that for you as well. And I'm sure I'll see you here tomorrow. I'm hoping I'll see you here tomorrow. Tomorrow's the first day of the year. 2020, our huge year. What we have coming up is we have Mercury conjunct Jupiter and the South Node at the same time. Tomorrow, we are going to talk about Saturn conjunct Pluto. I saved that for the first of the year. This is a huge conjunction because it only comes around once every 34 to 38 years, and it's got some huge energies around it and change that can happen around it. So it's kind of big. And then the moon will trine Mars tomorrow. Later on in the week, we are gonna see the sun squaring the moon, and we're gonna see Neptune trine the North Node. These are all some fun things that bring about little shifts. So meet me here tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then. Thanks.